Guys, thank you all for being here. It looks like most of you are on the West Coast. Sarah and myself are on the East Coast, and I know I had at least one person who said she might pop in, but um, she she may pop in a little bit late, which is fine because I guess Patty's going to record it and we can make it available. If you guys have any folks that would be interested in catching up on Patty's depth of knowledge on the immune system and the gut, then we will make that available for your folks for later on. So I came into Prime My Body a little over a year ago now. Thanks to the goddess Sarah Strable, who has more talents than I can even list in the short time that we're going to try to get on and off here. Um, she's a vocalist, she's a spiritual leader, she's a Prime My Body big wig. And my leader and my inspiration. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to Sarah.
Thank you, Maria. What a nice introduction. I'm so honored to be on this presentation with Maria and Patty Yu, who we'll hear from later. All three of us are working the healing arts. All three of us, a passion is to help people transform, help people become the best version of themselves, and to make the world a better place. So I'm honored to work alongside them, and I definitely would not be where I am today without either one of them. They've both played a huge part in my journey, and I'm so grateful for that on a personal level and a business level. I've been with the company for about a year and a half now, and it has been such a blessing. Every day I'm more and more thankful. Every day I fall more and more in love with the company, with the integrity, the products, the community. It's just, it's a dream come true, really. And so I'm excited to share with you guys today that joined us live, and for anyone watching the recording, thanks for taking time. I know this is a really interesting and crazy time in our reality, in our world. And at first, honestly, we'd planned this, and I felt like, I don't know if I feel good about doing a presentation right now. And a lot of people processing a lot of emotions, a lot of grief, anger, fear in myself and the collective consciousness, and confusion. It's hard for some of us to know what to do or what to say to our friends, neighbors, colleagues. But when it comes down to it, I think, just it's not the same, but just as with the coronavirus stuff, when that was happening, there was a while when it didn't feel right to talk about business, but luckily I'm very grateful to be in the health and wellness field, which everybody needs, no matter what is happening, no matter what leaves are flying in your face. And like, is it going to help the world for any of us to, yes, we need to pause and reflect and honor the feelings, our own feelings, and the feelings and actions that other people are feeling and taking. That's really important to pause. And at the same time, is it going to help anyone to dim their light or to slow the positive impact that they're having in the world? I don't think so. We need to feel healthy and balanced and vibrant to be able to take our power into the world to create change. And if we're stuck feeling anxious, scared, depressed, unsupported, any of those things, that doesn't help. to create the change that we want to see in the world. And so, you know, eventually I came to the conclusion, like, no, we don't need to stop working. We don't need to stop sharing our message, because the world needs this more than ever right now. You know, these products help us to get clarity. They help us to get grounded. They help calm down our nervous system so we can think clearly and we can feel our feelings fully and be clear on the direction that we need to go. So, again, just so grateful to be aligned with a company with heart that is also, as a company from the leadership down, acknowledging the hardships that are taking place right now and honoring that, not ignoring it, not trying to, they don't have their eye on the dollar, they have their eye on people's hearts. And that's who I want to, that's what kind of leadership I want to follow, and that's what kind of company I want to be a part of. So I feel really good. I feel really good about being here today. I feel really good about sharing this with you all, because it's helping me, and I think it can help you and your loved ones to be in a better place as we navigate through these really challenging times and feelings and emotions. So normally I would share more about my story, but I think with everything that's going on, that was on my heart, and I wanted to share that instead. And I want to also put a plug in, besides Patty Yu is coming up to teach us. We had talked about various themes for today, and I trust her wisdom with what she's going to share. I'm not even sure exactly what she's going to share, but I'm excited because I always learn from her. She's a top leader in our company. She was able to build a tremendously successful business in her first year with the company. So I'm grateful that I have her support and that I get to learn from her. She's, as I said, she's helped me personally on my health journey too. And I've watched her help thousands and thousands of people as a health coach. And she's also a yoga teacher, and she's a lot of wonderful things to a lot of people. And I will also put a plug in too, because I've been watching her blossom and really I thought she stepped into her power before, but boy, it's happening a lot lately. So if you aren't following Patty Yu on social media, she's putting out some really, really powerful, profound content that is helping me. And I've talked to other mutual friends that they're like, wow, Patty is on fire. She's putting out some good stuff. So I'm going to put in a plug for that too. And with that, I'll pass it over to you, Patty.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your words and your heart. And it is a really intense time. And what's so powerful is it's different than when this has shown up before. It's like everything is so transparent right now, and it's so powerful. And it feels like there's a lot of people who are awake. And, you know, when we talked about whether or not to do this presentation, I was like, there will be people who are ready for this right now. You know, it's the people who are ready, because if I'm here and I'm ready, there has to be more, right? And so I thank you, everybody who's here, who joined us and took your time to join us today. As a health coach, my specialty as a health coach has been with gut health and gut healing. So I had to figure out how to heal my own gut that I had destroyed unknowingly through my whole life, really probably starting really young through antibiotics and being formula raised. And, you know, right now the world is in such a tremendous amount of intense turmoil. We're seeing these images right now that are explicit, and the brain responds to that. The brain will respond to both physical trauma And it will also respond to psychological trauma in very much the same way. It damages the brain in the same way. And what most people don't know is that when you experience trauma, either physical or psychological trauma to the brain, your gut actually also experiences trauma and damage. And your gut microbiome experiences damage. You can look this up actually, and even with NFL players, and there's a correlation between brain, like force trauma to the brain, and then gut damage symptoms that show up after that, and measured gut damage. So as a whole, right now, our whole world is experiencing various levels of trauma that they're being exposed to right now. And our immune systems are being affected. But not only that, we just are piggybacking off of 3 months of being locked in our homes, eating more shelf-stable food. A lot of people are eating more shelf-stable food than maybe they usually do. Living in this high stress state, and we're really vulnerable right now, and as a whole. And the products here have this really profound ability to not only help with your gut and the ripple effect through your whole immune system, but also, like Sarah mentioned, the nervous system. Because this endocannabinoid system in your body actually regulates all of these different systems in the body. It regulates your immune system, it regulates your nervous system, it regulates digestion. That's why when you're in chronic stress, your body can't digest very well. It can't rest and digest. So you need something or an ability to bring yourself back into parasympathetic. That's why a lot of Chinese medicine and acupuncture is all about bringing the body into the parasympathetic. Chiropractic is about bringing the body into parasympathetic. I don't actually know that much about polarity therapy, but I bet you it helps bring people into the parasympathetic. So does yoga, so do meditation practices, so does prayer, actually. However, if your body is endocannabinoid deficient, which most of us have been, we can do all the yoga in the world and all of the healing arts in the world, but we can still actually have an impaired ability to get into the parasympathetic, because actually the endocannabinoid system regulates that system, and it's a profound discovery. But consciousness does not happen overnight for all of humanity all at once. Unfortunately, it takes people first waking up and then talking about it and sharing the information just like we are. And then eventually the whole body of humanity may catch up, or at least a lot more will catch up in the next 50 years or so. But we're here right now. Those of you who are in this virtual room, we're here right now, and we happen to be here at the very, very beginning of a monumental movement of hemp being legalized again and coming back to humanity for the first time again in almost 100 years, which is about 3 generations of deficiency, essentially. And actually, the deficiency probably began even before that, as the knowledge, it was probably declining too at some point. I would imagine the knowledge of cannabis oil was already declining too. But 3 generations deficient. So that's why when people start to use a product that actually can get into the body very quickly, which is what we're working with here, people have these really profound results. And actually, Maria, I would love to pass it over to you to share your story as it pertains to nutrition and the gut and absorption of minerals and how it helps the gut.
Sure. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, the story that I tell, and Sarah had me do it at one of a regional event that we went to, and I thought, gosh, my story's not that huge. These people are talking about coming back from brain trauma and paralyzation and stuff. But I guess in this particular arena, it definitely relates, because I was, I've, I've never actually been diagnosed with, um, what's it called? Not
Malabsorption.
malabsorption. Thank you. Never actually been absorbed with malabsorption, but Patty and Sarah and I are all, thank you, are all holistic health practitioners. So we do an enormous amount of research, and I've done research in Ayurveda and TCM, and I know that there's certain things on the tongue that show when you have malabsorption. And I eat well. I could eat better, but I eat well. And so some of the issues that I was having, I shouldn't have based on the diet that I have. So when I started doing my own research and discovered self-diagnosed myself with malabsorption, that's what started making sense. So I started trying to go and give blood because I'm trying to find ways to give back. We all want to do things. We all want to give back. I started trying to go and give blood because that just seems like an easy thing to do. Go and sit in a chair and relax for 30 minutes, right? Well, I went 3 different times and my iron levels weren't high enough. I couldn't give blood. And about that time, Sarah came along with Recept, which is now Focus, same thing, but different name. Sarah came along and I started taking the Recept. And, I don't learn my lessons the first 3 times that I can't go and give blood. I keep on going. So literally 3 weeks after being on Recept, I went and tried to give blood again, and my iron levels were off the charts. And I had changed absolutely nothing other than taking the Recept. So I don't have any proof. I don't have any other than my own, and I've given blood every single 8 weeks, and that's been over a year now. I've given blood every 8 weeks and have had absolutely no issues with my iron levels. So, and I've changed nothing other than taking the Recept Focus.
Awesome. Yeah. So Focus was previously known as Recept when it was the only formula that we had, but now we have a whole family of formulas, plus a new one that we're going to talk about with a little more detail coming. So thank you, Maria. I think your story is actually a perfect example of how the endocannabinoid system supports the overall function of your whole system. And there's actually this huge cascade of benefits. We have tons of receptors in our gut, in our skin, in our brain, even in your bones and in every organ. It's also incredibly involved in fertility functions in the body. There's more receptors for cannabinoids in the female uterus than any other organ in any human body. And that's also one of the reasons why women will have incredible results for women-related challenges. And there are a lot of them that women go through. Women live with a lot of discomfort and pain sometimes for many, many years. And we've seen incredible results for that. So there's something in our formula, in Focus, well, in all of them actually, but very high concentration in Focus that is delivered through a delivery system called sonicated nanoliposomal delivery. To kind of summarize, it means it's in a lipid, not a food grade oil, but it's a lipid that you can actually shrink down using sonic sound waves into the smallest, tiniest nanomolecules, the smallest on the market. And then it bypasses digestion and passes through all the mucous membrane in your mouth and your throat and the upper GI tract. And it doesn't get destroyed through the digestion process. So it's second best to intravenous therapy. And the cannabinoid that is in this CBG is known to be extremely regenerative for the brain and the gut. Regenerative. And literally in the brain, it's proving you can actually regrow brain cells, which we thought wasn't possible before. And our chief medical advisor, Dr. Chen Ron, is the guy who really envisioned this product, the formula, set the standards for testing to make sure we're not contaminating it with toxins, mold. We're testing for all of this stuff. Some companies don't do that. We have third-party tests done multiple times to make sure nothing is contaminating the product, and that there's no mold, no heavy metals, no pesticides. So this CBG is responsible, I believe, for a lot of the really profound results that we are seeing, because the CBG is known as a stem cell cannabinoid or a mother cannabinoid. In the hemp plant, it's the cannabinoid that springs forth all of these other cannabinoids. That's why they call it a stem cell cannabinoid. And we're hearing more and more and more about CBG, and we can talk about CBG a lot more actually easily than we can talk about CBD, because Big Pharma actually owns a patent on the single isolate cannabinoid. So when you go to the store, when you look at products, you're going to see how come some products call themselves CBD oil and some products call themselves hemp oil or hemp extract. And what you're going to find more and more is that those products that call themselves CBD oil are owned by GW Pharma, and it's a synthetic isolate. So if you're looking for the real botanical plant compounds, we are growing the best and putting the broadest spectrum of hemp cannabinoids and terpenes into these products together through this nano delivery. So, you know, our company is one of the fastest growing companies in this space today. And I believe we're going to be, you know, the global giant in this space. And it's because our CEO really understood we had to be leaders, not just copycatters, but leaders in technology, in our standards and whatnot. So I love this product. I use it every day, pretty much. I've lately kind of been forgetting to use this product because this product came out and I still have this, actually I have the, hold on one second. This product came out, Calm. And before Calm, I already felt like I had reached a point of sleeping pretty well, but Calm has taken it to a whole other level of sleeping well. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And I cannot tell you the importance of good sleep right now, because your body resets itself. It goes through all of its detox processes in the middle of the night. And if you're not getting good, deep sleep, your body will oftentimes shut down some of those processes and not take your body through those processes. And you don't get rest. You don't feel rejuvenated. And that can increase stress. It can increase the experience of negative emotions, and it compounds. So, you know, getting good sleep, especially right now, is going to help prevent mood difficulties, because we're in a time right now, there's so much going on. I think it's okay to practice some self-preservation. It's okay. You have permission to take care of yourself right now. And if you can help yourself get some really good sleep, that's going to take care of a lot of other experiences that are not physical. And I would highly, highly recommend, you know, if you're not sleeping well, to pursue a healthy, non-addictive way to actually get much better sleep. And this is that. This does not have any addictive elements to it. It's naturally affecting your neurotransmitters and allowing your body to produce natural melatonin in a natural way, with herbs and compounds and hemp and terpenes. Amazing botanicals in this: passion flower, L-theanine, lemon balm, valerian root, GABA, L-tryptophan. And it tastes kind of super yummy. A lot of people love the taste. And then we have a new formula. I don't have a bottle because it's brand new, but I'm really excited about this formula. And this formula is actually not a nano formula. However, it is 500 milligrams of CBG. And I'm just going to read this list. And some of these things have come up in the collective consciousness a lot because of the COVID situation. So this has elderberry. Elderberry was sold out like everywhere for weeks, everywhere. So elderberry, olive leaf, skullcap, licorice, eucalyptus, echinacea, pau de arco, reishi, Asian ginseng, spearmint, clove, vitamin A, garlic, oregano, and then multiple terpenes. And the intention with this product is to boost the immune system. Well, we already talked about earlier how important the gut is, right? Your immune system is your gut. Your gut is your immune system. Your gut is what's protecting you from the outside world. Because even though this tube is inside of you, it's actually outside of you. Does that make sense? It's protecting you from the outside world. And if that gut is not strong, it's not able to protect you from all of these pathogens that may enter through these different receptors. So with this non-nano delivery, it's specifically not nano so that you can actually swallow it through digestion. But because we know that you only absorb a very small percentage, it's 500 milligrams of CBG, which is, wow, that I cannot wait to try this. And there's so many things in here that are naturally antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. There's some amazing studies that have come out about how cannabinoids like CBG help to inhibit the receptors that the COVID virus can enter by 70%. That's this research that's been coming out of Canada, which is amazing. So I would actually love to pass it over maybe to Sarah. I know you use a lot of different plant remedies, and I'd love to just pass it over to you if you want to share a little bit about what you're excited about with the Shield formula.
Sure. I'm so excited to just simplify my supplement cabinet because this has everything in it that you could ever want for, besides vitamin C. So there are a couple things that I'll still keep besides this, this Shield supplement. But when they first released, talked about all the different ingredients in there, I was blown away that they have figured out how to put all that in there. And the fact that master herbalists worked with the company to, decide what amounts of each thing to put in there. So a lot of times that's hard to know as a consumer if you're not a master herbalist. Like, I have all these things in the cupboard, which things are most important to take and how much and how often, and is it okay to take them long term, or is it only for short little bits? And so our company always works with the leading experts in whatever field of the products that they come out with. And so I'm just thrilled to be able to incorporate all of those super powered herbs and plants that I know create this fortification around us to protect us. And I don't have to figure out any of those answers to those questions because the experts have already done it. And I'll just need the one bottle, and I'm going to work my way through all the other ones before I get it. But I'm super super excited about that, to simplify and to know that I'm getting super high quality too, because our company is very, very picky about the quality of the ingredients. So yeah, I don't have to compare and contrast and read reviews on different, it's like, it can get pretty exhausting if you're picky, like we are, about the sourcing and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm super pumped, and the company also, for anybody that wants to dig deeper into the ingredients, the company has done a couple of different Zooms, and we're going to have one on Thursday where you can get a super discounted price with the release of the launch of the product. So they'll go in more with all the details of the ingredients, and we have incredible practitioners in our company, like Dr. Lita. She's an acupuncturist. She's done some Zooms talking about the ingredients, and it just gets me fired up to hear these experts that know so much about the healing plants that are available, and they are fired up to have this in their hands for their patients. So I feel super confident to recommend it and offer it to people. And there's not really, I mean, what could be more important? To me, if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how big your house is. It doesn't matter what kind of vacations you're taking. If you are susceptible to getting ill, or if you feel bad the whole time you're there, or while you're hanging out in your huge mansion, like that, what's the point? So to me, I've always felt that way. Health is number one. And so I've always invested my money in my health. I don't know what else could be more worth it or more important.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, I'm so there with you. Actually, there's so many things on this list that actually I want to be taking and I've wanted to be taking, but it's so overwhelming to buy all these powders. I bought like reishi and ginseng and pau d'arco and echinacea and, you know, oregano. It's like all of these things before, and they end up, I use them a few times, and then they just kind of end up sitting and getting old. And or it's like you only put them in smoothies, but then you don't always do smoothies or whatever, right? So it's like I never end up getting it into my body, and you spend all this money, and it is going to streamline so much. And when you start to repair the gut, there's a few things that are going to happen. You're going to be digesting and absorbing nutrients better. And part of the problem with our gut is the more damage your gut gets, the less nutrients you're absorbing. And then there's all these other ripple effects where you can feel like you're never satiated with food, and then the imbalance of bacteria in the gut will get imbalanced, and then you crave all these things that feed the bacteria in your gut. So to have something that can address, both with the CBG repairing and regenerating the lining like it does with the brain, and then all these other things that help boost your immune function that are naturally antifungal, antibacterial, you're getting multiple, you're repairing, and you're helping to reduce some of the bad guys that are in your system. Oregano is amazing for fungus and candida, as well as pau d'arco. Those are both really great herbs for fighting candida. And candida is prevalent. It is so prevalent, but nobody talks about it. A lot of people live with chronic candida symptoms, and they might even have a lot of things that they don't even know is related to candida. So I love how we have this stuff that is so high quality, and then ultimately the results will start to speak for themselves. So, you know, it's already 12:41, so I want to honor and respect everyone's time. There's actually all these other products as well that the company has that are incredible for the skin, for example, both in an anti-aging fashion, but also repairing these really stubborn skin things that most people will live with. And we're seeing these incredible results for skin stuff that shows on the skin through the Nox product. And then there's a body therapy salve for muscle relief. People use it for abdominal discomfort, women's cycle discomfort, as well as even headaches, tension in the head and jaw. It's given people relief for that as well. So if you're interested in learning more about any of these products, we mostly focused on the hemp extracts, because I also really feel like that's what's going to help us the most right now as we manage the stress and calm our nervous system so that we can, you know, bring ourselves back to live, right? Like we have to live. I feel like we can't shut ourselves down through the collective grief. If we want to make a change, we have to start to live our lives as well, and that's how we'll be effective. So these are incredible solutions for our health and our mental health and emotional health. So please do reach out to whoever invited you to this call if you'd like to learn more information about any of the products or even how the compensation plan works, or to get started. And thank you all so much. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Maria. And actually, Maria, I'm going to pass it back to you to do a little final wrap up.
Thank you, Patty, and thank you, Sarah, for having me be a part of two amazing women. Patty, you are just, I mean, it's amazing to me because, I mean, we all research, you know, but the breadth of knowledge that you have, it just, you always amaze me at your age, how much you know and how willing you are to share, you know, and so that we're grateful for your willingness to share and be the mentor that supports us in getting where we want to be in life, not only, you know, physically, emotionally, in a health perspective, but financially too. I mean, I know that you're just a phone call away if I ever need you for anything. I've never been told I'll have to call you back, or you're always ready and available to support us in whatever we need in the moment. And so I honor you for that. So it's just, you know, I feel honored to participate with two such incredible leaders with Prime My Body, and people that I can, you know, that I can call friends. I want to tell a story real quick too, if we've got another minute, that touches on something that Sarah has told me over and over and over again about the kind of people that you want on your team. And my son did a protest. So this ties into what's going on right now. My son decided he wanted to walk a protest last night. You know, and you have a 16-year-old out on the streets walking a protest, you feel a little uncertain about it. My whole family was like, are you insane for letting him go? And when he gets home, I said, son, what did you learn? And he said, well, the mayor of the town where he was is a Black woman. And she spoke to the group of protesters. And she said that she has a son that is autistic, and that I'm probably going to get teared up thinking about it. She's not certain that if her son were stopped by a police officer, that he would be able to articulate concerns or issues or get across, communicate. And that she would not hire anyone on her police force that she would not trust with her son. That's the people that we work with in this company. And, you know, that's the people that we want to spread the word to, people that we would trust our own children with. So that's what I feel like with you two. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for for Patty and for Sarah and for their knowledge. I hope everyone has a lovely day. Namaste.
Thank you.